Hi, good morning, MindGritters. How are you doing today? Thank you, Lord, for giving us another day of our life. What I'm going to share with you today is another set of life lessons from a very popular person. And he is no other than Elon Musk. And before we dive into it, let's play this. Good morning once again, MindGritters. Elon Musk is a very interesting person. He is an engineer, industrial designer, technology entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. He was born in June 28, 1971. He is 49 years old this year. And his net worth is actually $69.2 billion. That's a huge sum of money. Elon Musk is famous because he was able to achieve his dream of landing a human on Mars, which means that life for the first time in 4.5 billion years was able to physically transfer from one planet into another. And that is unbelievable. That's invincible. He is also famous for SpaceX, for PayPal, for Tesla. Before I'll share with you the top 10 in terms of the life lesson I was able to get from Elon Musk, please do subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get notification whenever I upload any contents, I usually upload on a weekly basis, you may hit that bell button. Okay, so we will start with number 1. Number 1 on my list is actually challenge and expand the current perspective, and he was able to deliver it in Caltech. Caltech is the California Institute of Technology. Nothing great is ever achieved by doing things the way they have always been done. To challenge the status quo and to expand the current perspective, we have to face our fears. We have to take risks. We have to be fearless. We have to be bolder in terms of our actions. We have to make that decision. And to create something meaningful, we have to create significance.
I came to the conclusion that if we can advance the knowledge of the world, if we can do things that expand the scope and scale of consciousness, then we're better able to ask the right questions and become more enlightened, and that's really the only way forward.
Number 2, feedback is a gift. Definitely, feedback is a gift. If it's a gift, then you don't have to resist whenever someone gives it to you. When someone gives you a feedback, you have to be thankful of that. Just say thank you. It's up to you whether you want to listen to that feedback, or it's up to you whether you want to use that feedback so that you can be better.
And whenever we'd show the system off to someone, we'd show the hard part, which was the agglomeration of financial services, which was quite difficult to put together. Nobody was interested. Then we'd show people email payments, which was actually quite easy, and everybody was interested. This is I think it's important to take feedback from your environment. You want to be as closed loop as possible. So we focused on email payments and really try to make that work, and that's what really got things to take off. But if we hadn't responded to what people said, then we probably would not have been successful. So it's important to look for things like that and focus on them when you see them, and you correct your prior assumptions.
Number 3, maintain optimism. It's really important that we have to be optimistic, looking at the brighter side of life. And it has a lot of benefits. Did you know that optimists are happier and less stressed as compared to those who are not? And they also tend to have healthier hearts. And did you know that the University of Illinois did a study about it? They're able to find out that those who were the most optimistic were 76% more likely to have health scores in an ideal range.
It's really somewhat of a tenuous existence that civilization and consciousness as we know it has been on Earth. And I think I'm actually fairly optimistic about the future of Earth, so I don't want to sort of people to have the wrong impression that I think we're all about to die. I think things will most likely be okay for a long time on Earth, but not for sure, but most likely. But even if it's sort of 99% likely, a 1% chance is still worth spending a fair bit of effort to ensure that we've backed up the biosphere, planetary redundancy, if you will. So I think it's really quite important.
Number 4, we are the magician of the 21st century. We are limitless on what we can do.
But I think the overarching point I want to make is that you guys are the magicians of the 21st century. Don't let anything hold you back. Imagination is the limit, and go out there and create some magic.
And number 5, he was able to share it during the SXSW 2018, or the South by Southwest Conference in 2018. He mentioned that life can't be just about solving one miserable problem after another. There are so many things that we can do in life.
That there's a mission, there's a larger mission there. And I'd love if you talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I'll stand, actually. You see me? Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, so as Jonah was alluding to, there are a lot of negative things in the world. There's a lot of terrible things that are happening all over the world, all the time. There are lots of problems that need to get solved. There's lots of things that are miserable and kind of get you down. But life cannot just be about solving one miserable problem after another. That can't be the only thing. There need to be things that inspire you, that make you glad to wake up in the morning and be part of humanity. That's why we did this. This guy called Tsiolkovsky, one of the early Russian rocket scientists, the great saying, "Earth is the cradle of humanity, but you cannot stay in the cradle forever." It is time to go forth, become a star-faring civilization, be out there among the stars, expand the scope and scale of human consciousness. I find that incredibly exciting. That makes me glad to be alive. I hope you feel the same way.
Number 6, never give up. A lot of people are saying this, so don't give up.
In a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
8 weeks later, Musk bet the company on another flight.
We have liftoff.
And this time around, everything worked.
Perfect.
If that fourth launch hadn't worked, that would have been it. We would have not had the resources to.
This number 7 is very important, which is like whatever it is that you're doing. You have to love it. Just like what Steve Jobs mentioned, right, in our previous episode, that we have to love that something that we are doing.
Really liking what you do, whatever area that you get into, given that even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short. I'd say and also if you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. I mean, it's something that your mind is drawn to, and if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think.
Number 8, we have to work hard. And even according to Jack Ma, he mentioned that we have to work harder.
I think the first is you need to work, depending on how well you want to do, and particularly if you're starting a company, you need to work super hard. So what does super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had just one computer, so the website was up during the day, and I was coding at night, 7 days a week, all the time. And I sort of briefly had a girlfriend in that period, and in order to be with me, she had to sleep in the office. So work hard like I mean, every waking hour. That's the thing I would say particularly if you're starting a company.
Number 9, take risk and be bold.
Anyway, so that's and then I think the final thing I would encourage you to do is now is the time to take risk. You don't have you don't have kids. Your obligation. Well, sorry. Probably not have kids. But as you get older, your obligations increase. So and once you have a family, you start taking risks not just for yourself but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it.
And number 10, he was able to share it during the World Government Summit. He mentioned to try to understand what the right questions to ask. It's really important to ask the right questions for us to arrive to significant solutions.
In terms of the motivations, I guess the sort of kind of a long version of the explanation, but essentially when I was a kid, I was wondering kind of what's the meaning of life, like why are we here, what's it all about, and I came to the conclusion that what really matters is trying to understand the right questions to ask, and the more that we can increase the scope and scale of human consciousness.
And that's it for today. I hope you're able to learn something. Should you have any feedback or any reactions or any comments, or if you want to add more advice or life lessons coming from Elon Musk, just jot down all of the things that you can think of in the comment section down below. Stay happy, healthy, gritty, and healthy. Bye for now.